I'm Joanne Kinnear and I have the privilege of working in the Ashton Centre. Been here about 4 years, but been involved in New Lodge long time. The Ashton Centre is a fabulous organisation, created by local people for local people. So it was created way back in the day when nothing much was happening, and local people got together and put £35 a week to put away to build a building, to start in the early 90s, by the time we were set up, and really have a resource that was for local people, by local people, to work with local people. And we really do our work across 6 themes. So we have children and families, we have training and employment, we have youth, we have health and well-being, we have community arts, and then we have community inclusion. So all the work that we do falls from this. The New Lodge is one of the poorest areas in the jurisdiction. It is also one of the communities that sits around the city centre that was cut off during the conflict. Obviously the city centre was reinforced, but it meant that the communities immediately around it, which should have always been part of the city centre of Belfast, suddenly were isolated from it. And within this sort of area, more murders occurred than any other part of the region. So people were really impacted by the trauma. Like with all areas of multiple deprivation, every day is a fight for people. Childcare is a fight. How do you get accessible childcare? How do you have a built environment that's fit for purpose? If you have a buggy in this street to get into the city centre and not take a bus, you have to go through 17 sets of lights. That's ridiculous. How did a child grow up like that? It's just nonsense. So people are struggling with their health, they're struggling with money, they're struggling with all those things, but they're doing it in a communal way. These ladies in here today, they're our older group. These women, they're all heroes. They all reared families at a time that was really hard to rear families. They got them out to school, the army were on the ground, people were being lifted, lots of men weren't about. And these women got their children up, got them out. So they're the heroes of the New Lodge, and it's really important that we continue to honour them, that we ensure that their legacy is understood by the young people of the New Lodge. Maybe it's their grannies, their aunties, but also the new communities coming into the New Lodge, because this is a very diverse community now. New people have moved in. They're very welcome. It's great to see, 37% of our young people that go to St Patrick's just across there were not born in the New Lodge. That wouldn't have happened 3 or 4 years ago. So it's a really big change. And so it's really important that we, as the base, the nucleus, make sure that people understand the part that these women played in that. So that's an example of how we are really trying to knit the fabric of what's really good about the New Lodge and make sure it stays regardless of who the community is now.
Well, I got offered the chance to do a course. It's an ONC which I've done, and I'm forever grateful. And as a way of paying back, I kind of have helped out with ones in the Ashton Centre. Not only have I learnt about different cultures, I've got to know new friends, and they've helped me not only education-wise, but also on a personal level with my personal life this past year. I find I've got loads of people to go and talk to. The opportunities are never ending, so I will be always grateful for the Ashton Centre, and long may it continue.
I'm volunteer in community fridge for give some people food. I'm coming last year, then I come to the Ashton Centre for the volunteer.
Right?
Yes, then they love me so much, then help me, support me, to help me to have the confidence to meet some people around my community.
We do a lot of social action, social justice work, but all based on community development principles. And what this new project is going to bring us when we're working with Queen's and with the 7 partners is that we will be leaving a legacy of the community, understanding how community research can support their argument to engage in decisions that are being made about their community. So it's really important, because paid workers are great, and I'm very grateful for my wage, but if we drop dead tomorrow, if the people who live here 24 hours a day don't know how to have the tools to lobby, to advocate, to protest, then it's not community development, you know, it's not even a legacy. So that's why we're delighted to be involved in this project, and that's what we would see the next few years doing, is developing that skill set.